Kiki Palmer wakes to a desperate phone call from her sister, Megan Good, who's bedridden with food poisoning. Megan begs her to cover a last-minute nanny shift for one of her elite Manhattan clients. Reluctantly, Kiki agrees, assuming it's just babysitting for a rich family. But when she arrives at a glass high-rise overlooking Central Park, she's thrust into a world of luxury, silence, and pain. The penthouse belongs to Winston Duke, a widowed tech millionaire, and his shy 5-year-old daughter, Alia. What begins as one day of helping out soon becomes the doorway into a life she never expected. Kiki steps into a home that feels more like a museum than a family space, spotless, cold, filled with reminders of someone who's no longer there. Winston Duke, tall and composed in his designer suit, introduces her to his daughter with polite detachment. He's courteous but distant, a man clearly haunted by loss. Alia barely speaks, her eyes clouded with loneliness. Yet, when Kiki kneels to her level, her warmth cuts through the silence. By sunset, laughter echoes through the penthouse for the first time in months. From the shadows, Winston listens, realizing the sound he thought he'd lost forever has returned. Days turn into weeks as Winston extends Kiki's stay, just until they find a permanent nanny. But it's clear Alia has found more than help. She's found love and connection. Together they paint, bake, and turn the sleek penthouse into a home filled with color. Winston begins to soften too, lingering longer at home, joining in on games and late-night story times. Kiki's humor disarms him. Her compassion draws him in. The air between them thickens with unspoken understanding. She came to help his daughter, but she's slowly healing his heart and her own. Neither of them dares to admit it. Winston starts leaving the office early, trading boardrooms for bedtime stories. Kiki catches him watching her sometimes, his gaze lingering like he's trying to memorize her laughter. She feels it too, the pull, the quiet magnetism that grows stronger each day. One evening, while Alia naps, they share grilled cheese and stories about their pasts. Winston reveals how losing his wife broke him. Kiki listens, her empathy stripping away the walls he's built. When their hands brush across the counter, neither pulls away. The spark is real, but both know crossing that line could change everything. When Winston invites Kiki to accompany him and Alia to a high-profile charity gala in Midtown, she hesitates. The thought of walking into a ballroom filled with New York's wealthiest intimidates her. But Alia begs her to come, so she says yes. That night, in a midnight blue gown, Kiki turns heads the moment she walks in. Winston can't hide the way he looks at her. The night feels almost magical, until whispered gossip and cruel laughter remind her she doesn't belong. An elegant socialite, Kate Hudson, sneers, "The nanny? Really?" The humiliation cuts deep, but Winston's reaction will define everything. On a balcony overlooking the glittering Manhattan skyline, Winston finds Kiki trying to hold back tears. He tells her the truth, that she's the most real person he's met in years, that she brings light where there was none. "You and Alia made this house a home again," he says. The tension between them snaps. The city hums below as they share a moment that feels both fragile and unstoppable. It's not a confession of love yet, but it's the spark that will ignite it. For the first time in years, Winston feels alive, and Kiki feels seen. Their private connection doesn't stay private for long. After the gala, tabloids explode with headlines. Billionaire CEO and his nanny? Scandal in the sky. Photos of Winston gazing at Kiki circulate everywhere. The internet calls her a gold digger. She hides in her small Brooklyn apartment, heartbroken and humiliated. Winston storms into her building in the rain, soaked and defiant, telling her he doesn't care about the gossip. "Let them talk," he says. "You, me, Alia, that's what's real." In his hand, he holds a crayon drawing from Alia. 3 stick figures holding hands under a castle. It breaks her completely and heals her at once. The media frenzy doesn't stop. Reporters stalk the penthouse, and Winston's investors start whispering about damage control. His powerful mother, Angela Bassett, shows up unannounced, poised and cutting. She takes one look at Kiki and Winston's shirt, barefoot in the kitchen, and delivers her verdict without words. You don't belong here. But Winston stands firm. She's family. The declaration stuns Kiki. For a moment, it's the world against them, and he's chosen her. Still, she wonders if love can survive when the world insists it shouldn't. The answer comes sooner than either expects. The pressure builds until Kiki starts to question everything. The whispers, the headlines, the fear of being the replacement wife. She tells Winston she can't keep living in the shadow of his wealth and his grief. He refuses to let go. Then I'll change my world, he says, the same words that once brought his empire to its knees. He means it. That night, as rain pours over the city, they stand face to face, drenched, broken, and real. When he says, I love you, it isn't grand. It's raw, trembling, and exactly what she's waited her whole life to hear. Months later, in a sun-drenched garden upstate, they marry barefoot under a wooden arch draped with wildflowers. There are no cameras, no designer gowns, no headlines. Just laughter, music, and love. Alia throws glitter instead of petals and proudly announces that her dad has to kiss mommy now. Winston's vows make even his mother tear up. Keeks are simple. I thought I was temporary, but you and Alia are my forever. They kiss beneath the string lights, surrounded by people who matter, not because of their status, but their hearts. Finally, she's home. Life after the wedding isn't a fairy tale. It's better. There are pancakes burned on Sunday mornings, dance parties in the kitchen, and bedtime stories that end in giggles. Alia starts calling Kiki mommy over cereal one morning, and no one corrects her. The headlines fade, the world forgets, but their small, joyful life remains. Winston often catches himself watching them. Keek's laughter, Alia's energy, and thinks, this is what peace looks like. What began as one day of helping out became the rest of her life. Not a fantasy, not a scandal, just love, real and lasting, in the heart of New York City. We have come to the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more interesting stories. Have a good one.